Howdy again, it's Mr. Pete, your interweb shop teacher, and welcome back to Studio B. This is episode number 82 of my This and That series. All kinds of odds and ends I want to show you, including viewer appreciation gifts and so on. So there's a lot of items. It'll be a long video, but near the end, people have been asking me, have I heard from my girlfriend Sarah? And I hadn't for about 2 years, but all of a sudden I got a box and a love letter, so since that's kind of bawdy, I'm going to hold that till the very end. So let's get started with a few other interesting things. Several months back, I received this book, The Shop Wisdom of Jesse Livingston, and it was given to me by one Mr. Mark King from Dayton, Ohio. Thank you, Mark. But in this book, and I have several of these other books by Shop Wisdom of various people, but there's all kinds of great projects in here, machine shop projects, engines, tools, and whatnot. Great bedside reading, even if I never do get around to building some of this stuff. Thank you, Mark. I hope you watched my video where I visited MITUTOYO, but my friend Andy Current went along, so now you know who I'm talking about, but he gave me this Starrett indicator in the box, number 564. I'm not sure if I have one of these or not, but it's the older style before they started making them with the dial. And more on this in just a moment when I open up a Starrett catalog, but let me show you what else Andy gave to me. Andy gave me this sorting tray, and I think he said that you can get them at Harbor Freight. You know, it just looks like a cheap plastic tray, but here's the purpose of it. Have you ever seen your pharmacist remove or take pills out of a big bottle and put them into a little bottle that he gives to you? And so he has a sorting tray, a lot smaller than this, but the purpose of this is you could dump your springs or your screws or whatever you got, put it in there and until you finally find the, oh, that's the one I'm looking for, and then you can very easily pour the balance back into your drawer or your cigar box or wherever you had them stored. So thank you, Andy, for that. That is going to be handy as heck. A regular contributor to my channel by the name of Brian Boucher, and he's out in Massachusetts. He regularly sends me a beautiful box of candy, assorted, high-quality candy, not Brock's, and or Farley or anything like that. And of course, I eat that within 1.5 days, so I don't even have that to show you. But he sent this beautiful Starrett catalog, hardbound. Now this is catalog number 26, which is really the same as this one. Now this is the one that would be in a machinist's toolbox or that they send to you in the mail. But if you would be a dealer or a jobber or maybe a buyer at General Motors or whatever, you probably would receive the hardbound version of it. This is 26, and you can put new pages in the way it's post-bound. So this is from 1938. And this just makes beautiful reading because it's in a larger format. It's really just like this, only blown up, so people with tired eyes can read it. But a couple things I wanted to show you in here that I thought were significant. Number one is there is indicator 564, which I just showed you. And they had been making that for many, many years. But in this catalog, they introduced the last word indicator. And I'm going to show you another page that I found very, very interesting. And so there's the last word indicator. Remember, they didn't invent them. They bought the rights from another company, so let me find that page. So near the back of the catalog is an interesting page, and again, it's about the last word. And they are declaring here that they have recently purchased the entire indicator business of Henry Lowe and Company, which is last word indicator. So that happened in 1938. Interesting to research something like this, just in time for the Second World War. So thank you, Brian, for that. And also in this catalog, just being stored, are 2 airmail envelopes, unused. Remember, years ago you had to have a very lightweight letter because it was expensive to send by airmail, but here they are celebrating National Airmail Week 1938. Couple of collectible envelopes, pretty awesome. Thank you, Brian. Very recently, Brian Jolly sent me this Unimat box in perfect condition, which will hold a Unimat lathe and all the accessories, and he sent a brand new Colton file card, one of my favorites, brand new, and an extra post for the milling drilling attachment for the Unimat lathe. So thank you, Brian. As a few of you might know, I recently took a trip to MITUTOYO up in Aurora. That's MITUTOYO of America. So there's a two-part video. I was really saddened by how few people watched it. Let me put the links in the description if you would want to watch that. But Nicole Smith, who is Director of Human Resources up there, and I'll flash her picture on the screen, gave both Andy and I these. I think my wife said this is like a beach bag, but I don't know. I really don't know. But inside of it, we got a MITUTOYO cap. So now I got two of them, thank goodness. One I can wear mowing the grass and one for good, for church. And a mug, or I guess this is for cold drinks, whereas I've already got the hot drink back there. And what else we got in here? Well, I got to open up the bag. Well, there's a straw for the mug. A fanny pack, I guess you call these, to keep your credit cards and cigarettes in if you're a smoker. I think that's to clean your lenses. A Sharpie and a pen. A whole bunch of stickers here, so I got to hang some of those up. This looks like a wristwatch, but it's MITUTOYO. This is kind of neat. Here's a keychain, quite heavy, of one of their digital micrometers. And a little flashlight, notebook along with pen, and a couple other little doodads here. I'll have to study and see what they are. But thank you, MITUTOYO, and thank you, Nicole. I think a lot of you out there know that if you buy a MITUTOYO caliper such as this over eBay, you, at a real low price, you might be buying a counterfeit knockoff. And that's why the price is cheaper. Now, Nicole Smith told me one way of checking is to see what kind of battery is in it. So if it's a poor quality battery, it's probably fake. But a viewer just sent me in a letter of 4 items that you need to check to see if it is real or fake. Here they are. John V. sent this to me in August, and I'm not going to read these to you, but you can pause your video if you want and read these 4 items here. Number 4 is the battery. The other 3 that will tell you whether or not you have purchased a fake. Okay, look what came in the mail about a week ago from Latham Marks. Lufkin, can you read it? There's a beautiful set of measuring rods that I have already used in a video that I made. It's already in the archive. It hasn't been released yet at this time in August of 2024. But these rods will be used to in a demonstration on the South Bend Mill on how to measure using measuring rods, indicators, and micrometer heads. So they're just in perfect condition, and I'll talk a lot more about these in that video. So get a load of that. Thank you ever so much, Latham. Well, those of you that follow my channel remember the cabinet that I bought that was all locked. I opened it up and there were lots of gear pullers of all kinds in there. Well, I did sell those, and I'll flash a picture of the cash right now. Yes, that's $1,500 that I got for the pullers, plus one other one that I sold for $100. So in other words, I received $1,600 for the pullers, so that now I can help support my channel and buy a few other things. Wrong. Well, a month ago I broke a tooth off. There it is. Just yellow and brown like the rest of mine. But anyway, the dentist ground it off. There was still a good root, so there was no surgery involved. But anyway, to take the impression and make a new tooth was $1,650 for that. So all of the money from the pullers and $50 out of my pocket paid for that. Now when I opened that cabinet, I was hoping that the accessories would be in there for the Atlas lathe, but they weren't. But look what I received in a box about a week ago from Michael Leduc. I'm not sure, it's a French name, but anyway, sorry Michael, but thank you for this. And he's from Michigan, home of the Atlas lathe. But look what we got here. There are some tool holders in the correct size. These are a lot smaller than the type you use on a 10-inch lathe, along with the cutoff tool and a cutoff blade, a tool post, where is it? A tool post and a rocker and the whole bit, and the Atlas wrench, #1 tapered die holder, some kind of tool holder, and this is a #1 to #2 sleeve, not sleeve, a socket I think they call it. Not sure exactly what that is. And here is the crank. Remember, it has a bad crank, a homemade crank, so maybe this will fit. And some, oh, this is the bearing for the right hand side of the lead screw. This is the one for a die to be held in the tailstock. Some assorted T-nuts here and a collar. So thank you so much, Michael. And you'll see all of this in another video sooner or later. Sometimes I'm mentioning things like this in more than one video because people do not watch all of the videos, so I don't think it's even a repetition. Well, I received a package from the state of Washington and from Mr. Paul St. Marie. Let's see what's inside of it. It costs $19 to ship it. And inside of it is a wooden box made just to the correct size to fit in that priority box, but it's all screwed together, but it says wrong side, so I guess this is the side to open it. And it's the screws say use a T15 bit, so let's get this open. Look at that packaging. And the letter. Holy mackerel. Let's zoom in on that. Well, there's a beautifully handwritten note. I really don't want you to read it. Thank you, Paul, so much. But inside here, look at that hammer that he made for me. And it's engraved Mr. Pete 222, your YouTube shop teacher. How awesome is that? And it's got what appears to be replaceable tips on it. Brass and nylon, or not nylon, probably Delron, and spares here if I live long enough to wear out these. And in the package here is four of these tools, and they're marked Google. This one is a magnet. I kind of recognize that. Brown and Sharpe used to make one of these. Here's an automatic center punch. Wow, powerful. And this one is a tiny little knife for giving vasectomies, I guess. And finally a scriber. So that is a nice set of tools. Thank you ever so much, Paul. And I assume that you made this, and it's just got a beautiful knurl, nice taper, very nicely polished. And I think that's his logo. Yeah, Paul St. Marie. That is so neat. Wow, what a craftsman he is. thank you, Paul, for sending this and for supporting me over the years. He's a frequent commenter in the videos. Very nice. And I will use this wooden box to ship something else someday, probably, something that is delicate. Thank you. You know, I've been a big critic of people packing poorly. So now I think I got a contest going here, because you've seen some of the other items that I opened up here where they built a wooden case inside of a cardboard box. Well, look what I just got here in this box, extremely well packed with heavy cardboard. And it's basically a metal box. That's a piece of 1/8" aluminum that was the cover. And then as I pull these items out, you'll see that there is aluminum plate on all 4 sides and the bottom. So this baby really was crush proof, and I think he wins the prize. Although I was thinking that the wooden box that beautiful hammer came in was indestructible. But either one of them, I suppose, could be run over by an army tank. Let me pull the items out here and show you what we got. Okay, this stuff came from Latham Marks, and he's a regular contributor. And I believe he sent me another gallon of this. So now I got 2 gallons of Evaporust, and I've got some rusty projects I got to work on. So we got that, and there's a set of retaining rings, E-rings, and you know, people don't like me using my wife's toothbrush to clean things up. So I don't know if I'm supposed to give these to my wife or use these here in the shop. And maybe this is tongue-in-cheek. Anyway, got a little steel brush and 3 brass brushes, a couple paint markers, and these are steel brushes. So thank you ever so much, Latham. And I forgot to mention, we got 2 big pieces and 4 smaller pieces of 1/8" aluminum. So there's $40 worth of aluminum on top of it. You know what, in a wood shop or a metal shop, I guess mainly in a wood shop, you cannot have enough clamps of various lengths to clamp your wood together as the glue hardens and dries and all of that. But recently I took a trip with a friend up near Rochelle, Illinois, and visited a shop. So let me show you some footage right now of his collection or selection of woodworking clamps. I'm in a friend's woodworking shop, and he told me you can never have enough clamps.
Oh yeah. You know, just to get it beautiful.
If anyone out there has more clamps than this, leave it in the comments.
Hey, you're going to eat with us, aren't you? You gonna go to eat with us and Papa?
When? Today?
Today.
I don't know. Why? We going there for lunch?
Yeah.
Okay. If Lyle wants to.
You know, sometimes as you put something together, the bolts just do not fit the hole. The holes are misaligned and all kinds of things like that. Well, this is tongue-in-cheek, of course, but regular contributor Mike Jensen sent me this picture of various kinds of bolts that can be used to correct your mistakes. Now, you can pause your video to read that now, but what I'm going to do is I'll put more pictures at the end that will, in other words, 3 pictures, 1, 2, 3, so you can study those and have a laugh over them and read the caption underneath. Thank you, Mike. And finally, here's the letter from my girlfriend Sarah, and she says, Happy 4th of July, tubalcain. I hope you get a laugh out of the giant tools that I have sent you. So she spent quite a bit of money, and she owes a big kiss down here at the bottom. And I've got some pictures here which I'll show at the end, but they will be censored, I should say. But let me show you what she sent. It's quite amazing. Well, I think you all know what a cotter pin is, or a cotter key, and this is the size that we typically use to repair wagon wheels or, you know, minor jobs that we do around the house or the machine shop. But look what Sarah sent. Now, have you ever seen a cotter key that big? And it looks like it would fit in a 7/8 or a 1-inch hole, and it's about, what, 8 or 9 inches long. So I guess that would be used on a giant crane or excavator or something where they got shafts that are, you know, 6 inches in diameter. Wow, how would you even bend that end over? It's kind of comical. Thank you, Sarah. What else did she send? Well, get a load of this. This is a Starrett inside-outside caliper, 24-inch. It appears to be brand new. Now, there's no number on that, but it does say Starrett, 24-inch, and I think it's called the firmer type. And I looked this up, and you know, they're $400 or $500 for one of those. And it appears to be new. Thank you, Sarah. I'll use that next time I work on a wristwatch. I currently have it set for 16 inches, and you can see that it would open even wider than that. And now I have it set for about 18 inches for inside work. Well, for those of you who are wondering what Sarah looks like, here's 2 out of the 5 pictures. The other 3 I can't show, and these 2 I had to cover up partially. But anyway, that's Sarah, and thank you, Sarah, for the giant tools. I hope to hear from you again someday. Well, we're finally here. It was a rather harrowing experience on the tollway, but we made it safely and can't wait to go in. And I've got my buddy Andy here as my navigator and friend, and we're going to have a good time. So let's go on inside. Well, that concludes episode 82 of This and That. Now, there's a few other things that I had to lay off to the side because the video got too long, but they will be included in the next issue in about a month. Thank you for watching. There's some still pictures at the end, and leave a comment if you will. This is Mr. Pete saying so long for now. I love the smell of ozone in the morning. Okay, all 5 of them are running, and I'm behind the camera, and boy, can I smell that ozone, and I must confess to liking it.